Welcome to Pure Prison Podcast. My name is Shai Hillman. Before we begin, I'd like to give an introduction about our goals, and that is to identify both the problems and the solutions to the criminal justice system. The purpose to the Pure Prison Podcast is to give a voice to those not only impacted by the criminal justice system, but also to those who are positively influencing the system. We would like to ensure that our guests feel free to express their thoughts and beliefs. With that being said, not all views and beliefs of those interviewed are necessarily the views of Pure Prison. With that, we hope that we inspire you to get involved, for it's only together that we will make a difference. Welcome back, everyone, to Pure Prison. I'm so excited to have you in tonight. We have a great guest. Her name is JoyBelle, and I'm going to bring her right in. How are you today?
Hi, I am great. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, we're so excited. Now, we were introduced through the Mississippi Summit, the Reentry Summit. You were a big part of that, which was really exciting. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit more.
So my name is JoyBelle Phelan. I am in Denver, Colorado. I was just released from prison right before Christmas of 2020. So I spent a bunch of time inside during COVID. And then I did some halfway house time. And so I just left the halfway house a week ago. So everything is new and shiny.
I didn't. And I was just telling you that I was released, to here a week and a half. This is funny.
It is funny.
Oh my goodness sakes. Tell me what it's been like. Tell the viewers.
It has been overwhelming. It's cool. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm happy to be out instead of in prison, right? But It's a lot.
Just the little things even, right?
Like Zoom. I just did 4.5 flat on my second incarceration. So learning Uber and Lyft, like learning Zoom, like technology, like you guys know, right? Technology moves lightning fast anyway. But when you've been inside with zero technology, it's a lot to learn all at once.
Okay. Now, you did 4.5. Mm-hmm. You also were incarcerated prior to that, weren't you?
Yes.
How long did you do then?
2.5.
2.5. And this was all out in Colorado?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell us about the experience at the halfway house. A lot of the viewers don't understand what the process is there.
So I don't know how it is in other states, but in Denver, in Colorado at least, so I'm still technically an inmate, right? You're just think of it as you're housed in a different unit, right? You're still an inmate, but the bonus part is you get to pay rent from day one, right? So if you don't have a job, how do you pay rent? And you're required to do classes, meetings, whatever else they may require of you, right? And so how are you supposed to manage a job? I don't have children, but imagine being a mommy and wanting to see your kids. And in the halfway house, like, it's super structured, right? Remember, you're still an inmate, but you have to get permission to go really anywhere. I'm at a geo facility, so there's what's called their matrix progression, right? And so you have to you have to do certain things to make certain levels, to do certain things, right? To get past time. And we're still in COVID, right? So you can't just go get your nails done or go out to eat with your family or whatever else you think you might really want to do. You might not be able to do that.
Exactly. I mean, there's rules, a lot of rules. And like you said, there are so many responsibilities for you personally, for your release that you're mandated to do. It's tough. How's it been trying to find a job?
I completely say I'm one of the lucky ones. When I was inside, I met a great lady at a Great Clips. I did cosmetology when I was in prison. So I left knowing how to get my cosmetology license. I had a job waiting for me at a Great Clips when I got out of prison.
Oh, go Great Clips. And that's incredible. I mean, how did you meet? How did you meet this person?
So her name is Deb, and she was an inmate at my facility. She came back to do a presentation of, hey, I can be successful. Yes, it's hard, but she was they brought her in as sort of a success story, right? Of you can do this too. And she was a general manager of 8 different Great Clipses in a franchise. And she said, hey, any of you girls doing cosmetology, if you stay in touch with me, if you reach out to me when you get out, I will help you find a job. But she was willing to help people get a job. And so I stayed in touch with her.
That's amazing. That's awesome. And I love it. I love that. Such a great story. Just that alone, an offender who re-entered, came back and is giving back. I mean,
yep.
That's a job. That's a career. That's awesome.
And she did the halfway house thing too. So she knew like my schedule might be limited or whatever. And so I wasn't working underneath her. I wasn't at one of her stores. She connected me with a different general manager in her franchise, but they understood there might be times where things were weird, or I'm not allowed to drive, right? So it might be hard to get there, or like they absolutely worked with me. Working there I'm not working there anymore. But they were a great experience. They're a great bunch of women that I'm still in touch with that really mean a lot to me.
That is amazing. I keep in contact with quite a few people, and on the inside and the outside.
Yep.
Now tell me, how did you get involved with the Mississippi Summit? I mean, you're way over there.
Sinetra is a networking rock star. And she found me on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn a lot, and I believe in reconnecting or connecting with people who are formerly incarcerated. So anytime, you know how that networking thing is, you see someone who's formerly incarcerated. I've been reaching out like crazy on LinkedIn, just connecting with people who've been where I've been, who understand the same journey, and we're all working to help people still inside and as they come out. Like, we're a fraternity that none of us ever wanted to be a part of, right? But here we are.
Hoorah! I mean, you know what? And go get them. I love when women come out and they start to make changes. And they mean it. They talk the talk, and now they're walking the walk. I love it. I love that you're giving back. Now, tell me a little bit about the Prison Journalism Project that you're involved in.
So the cool thing about Prison Journalism Project is we're a complete nonprofit. We're an organization where we want people inside to tell their own stories, right? Like, we're trying to change. Criminal justice reform is a big, hairy thing. Prison reform, reentry, like all of that works together, right? But if you're somebody that doesn't know how many people are incarcerated in this country, and you think you don't know someone who's been incarcerated, first of all, you probably do. They just don't feel comfortable saying it. And second of all, if we don't ever tell our stories, nothing is ever going to change. And so what we want at Prison Journalism Project, so I am their outreach fellow, meaning my job is to find people nationwide who are willing to tell their story. It could be what the chow hall is like. It could be what medical is like. It could be your day-to-day, oh crap, I never thought I would find myself in prison, but here I am, and here's what my experience has been like in this prison. Now, prison, Shy, prison is not what you see on Lockdown and 60 Days. Like, sure, it can be rough sometimes, but it can also be great. Like, some of the best people I know are still in prison, right? They're great artists or writers, and they've done, yes, something horrible, maybe they're in prison. That doesn't make them a bad person. That means they made a mistake. That means they made a bad decision. That means they were in a traumatizing relationship. So how can we support those people? And how can we help them to tell their story so that the rest of the world realizes what we're doing with mass incarceration isn't working?
You are so beautiful. And you spoke so much volume right there. I love hearing. Now, are you taking stories from people on the inside as well?
Inside, outside, volunteers, employees, staff, anyone who is touched by prison, I want to hear your story.
We got you. I got names. I got some names for you. I promise. Guys, I know that you guys are listening, and it's right there on the bottom. Prison Journalism Project. Now, they can just reach out to that. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Now,
And if they're scared to and they want me to talk to them first, email me, call me. I will help you. We will figure it out. And if you're in prison, I don't care. I'll still write you. I'll spend a stamp to write you. I'll write you on
oh
JPay.
my goodness. So you know about JPay?
Yes.
You are ahead of the game then. So guys, if you're watching, if you know someone, like she said, if they're nervous or they need someone to talk to, have them reach out to JoyBelle. Tell us now about the time to break through, please.
So we're just announcing today, Breakthrough here in Colorado was Defy Colorado. Defy is an organization that works inside prisons to help people. It's an 8-month character development and entrepreneurial career readiness program. So here in Colorado, we're splitting off on our own because we want to focus on Colorado. We love a lot of what Defy does, but we're Colorado based and we want to be Colorado branded. And so time to break through. Breakthrough, we work in prison. And then, so I was a Defy person in Colorado, did the program inside of the first cohort at La Vista Correctional Facility in Pueblo. I got out of prison, connected with them because they offer a great reentry pack. They're helping their graduates. And so I stayed in touch. And then they reached out to me and said, hey, we have this job opening. We think you might be a good fit for.
No wonder you're not at Great Clips.
Right. And so I had an opportunity, I had to apply with other people and interview and go through the whole process, but I'm now their program associate. I work with post-release. So as our graduates come out of prison, I'm there for a soft landing. I get where they've been because I did it too. I understand what the halfway house is like. I help if they need help polishing up a resume or doing some scared to do a job interview. We do some mock interviews, like whatever support they need as they come out of prison. I'm that person who will help them with resources, connect them with what they need. Sometimes I'm just an ear to listen as they're stressed out and frustrated because I've been there and I know exactly what that can feel like.
Oh my gosh, this is beautiful to me. I'm so happy to be the one that you're announcing this with. I hope everybody checks it out. It's www. Time to Breakthrough. This is the breakthrough.
Because that's what we're doing, right? Yeah, .org, we're a nonprofit. If you have a foundation that needs someplace to give money, we would happily accept that. Right? Because we're helping people in prison. It's all about breaking through. It's about changing your life. It's about recognizing that what you did in the past isn't working anymore. It's time to do something different. That phrase you love of mine, I truly believe in the magic of transformation. It's possible for everybody. None of us want to be remembered for our worst day, the worst mistake, the worst decision we made. We've done our time. Now it's time to move forward and break through.
That is amazing. And I don't know how it is in Colorado. Clearly it's the same. Re-entry they tell you they're going to help you. There's nothing. You come out, Lord forbid you don't have family support. You don't have financial money. You don't have any money.
How do you get an ID to find a job? Like you have to have employment documents. Like it can be, you're right, nationwide. I think it's hard everywhere. And I think reentry, right, is that new buzzword that people are paying attention to. Well, we need to put money behind it. We need to put resources behind it. We need to put legislation behind it.
That's right. It's time to break through, and we all need to do it. And as women, we need to support other women.
Absolutely.
Also, I mean, I support the men too. I get it. I'm in a lot of the men's prison, but I'm a woman, and I know the struggle behind every single thing that comes with that. Yep. And it's tough, and we need to support each other. And I love that. I love that you're starting in the prison and you're bringing them all the way home.
I'm super excited. The SE Justice Group just reached out to me. I'm going to be in their next cohort. SE is talk about a sisterhood, right? Like SE is amazing. Love, so excited to learn advocacy and all of the, like, I'm sure you've noticed too, right? There's props to the men that are doing this work. Like that's amazing, but there aren't enough women who are willing to speak about this was what my experience was like. Like gender responsiveness is not really a thing in prisons and it needs to be. I mean, can you imagine being transgendered or LGBTQ and incarcerated? Like there's a special level of hell for someone that is living that life.
Yeah, I actually, my time at Homestead, and I will not say the name, but it was one of the first persons who came onto the compound. They had been unfortunately held at a men's facility for years.
I cannot imagine. And so we need to be supporting it. There's a level of sisterhood that, okay, like I said, props to the men, like we all have to work together, but there's something special about the sisterhood and supporting each other and really shining a light. There hasn't, in my opinion, there hasn't been enough of a spotlight shown on what it's like to be a woman incarcerated. And we need, as scary as it is, right? Like step through that fear, right? Share those stories. And seriously, like if it's something as simple as what the chow hall was like I don't know in other states, but in Colorado, women can order makeup in prison. What's that journey like, right? Like just your day-to-day experience, like you think it's no big deal because it's your life, right? But somebody in another state can get something from that and might learn something and be like, wow, I didn't know it was like that. We need to change that.
Yeah, we do. We need to change a lot. I love this. Anything coming out now? Are you going to be, what do you write? What do you write? Because I know you're a writer.
I write a lot. So I've been told I need to write a book. I haven't done that yet.
A book that's
I write a lot about reentry. Like with Prison Journalism Project, I really focus on reentry, formerly incarcerated. So if somebody has a story, right, and you're formerly incarcerated, and maybe you're not a writer, but you want to work with me and like, let's tell a story. Or like you've got something cool going on, like Miss Sinatra and the Reentry Summit. Like that's something cool. Like, so I really focus on formerly incarcerated because that's my life too, right? And what the reentry journey is like. So I wrote a piece on my reentry, like those first days of coming out. I'm currently working on a piece of like you mentioned, I've only been out of the halfway house a week. So I'm writing on what that has been like.
Yeah, I can't wait to read it. And I would love to have you back on too, because I want to see your journey. I want to be a part of this. You're doing big things already. Hey, I mean, a week out and you're running, girl. Yeah. Running in the right direction too. I love it.
Well, I'm sure you feel the same way. Like there's a responsibility. Like I was hired by people that knew me in prison, and I feel a responsibility to, I might be one of the first. I certainly won't be one of the last. And I want to make sure that there's opportunities for other people who come behind me and do bigger and better things.
I love it. I love it. I love that you're open arms too, because that's me. If you're doing things and you're in the right, I support you.
All day. Yep.
All day long. Pure Prison supports you. Society First will support you too. Yeah. Love it. I cannot wait to have you back on. I am so thrilled in my soul, literally, to see this because, and there's so many sisters along the way that I'm seeing every day. I'm seeing new people on Facebook, and I just love it. It touches me. And I thank you. It was a pleasure interviewing you at the Mississippi Reentry Summit. It was a pleasure meeting you again today. I'm going to put it up one more time. Everybody, please, if you write, if you want to write, if you know somebody that writes, Prison Journalism Project, reach out to JoyBelle, JoyBelle, literally. Type it in, she comes up. It's the first person, week out. I love you.
Thank you, Shy. Thank you for having me. This has been so much fun.
Thank you. And we will see you again. All right. Well, everybody, that was JoyBelle. I love it. I can't wait to see her on this journey. And I know that you're going to tune in the next time also and see what kind of ventures she's been on. Magical transformation ventures. And I love it. This is a magical time, people. It's time to change. It's time for a breakthrough. www.timetobreakthrough.org. Check them out. Going to be doing big things in Colorado. Can't wait to see it. You guys like and subscribe on YouTube. You can join Pure Prison on Facebook. That's usually where we're always at. I know it's for old people. I'll get on TikTok sooner or later. You guys, we love you. Remember, it's peace or pain. It's your choice every single day. Have a good one.